Hey, it's me, Tammy B, and here's my review for Married to Medicine. So this is the episode that came on Sunday, August 30th, you guys. And so basically it's right after it's picking up right where we left off. So Jackie is kind of doing her thing as a doctor, and on her way to make rounds, Lisa gives her a call. So Jackie and Lisa kind of just hash out what happened at Jackie's last event, the event where they were supposed to be all asleep and relaxing, and then the whole fight broke up. So I appreciate Jackie, you guys. Jackie checked Lisa. She was like, look, this was your fault. Even if Quad was responding crazy, you didn't have to respond crazy back. And that's Jackie's thing, you guys. Everybody has an action, but it's our reactions that cause or take it to the next level or diffuse it. And I get it. If somebody steps to your face, it is a natural reaction to maybe sock or fight for most of us or for most people. But you don't have to, you know? So Jackie was just telling Lisa, like, you know, I understand your position, you're hurt, your family's involved, your husband's involved, the law is involved, it's serious, but you perpetuated that whole fight by, number one, bringing it up, and number two, by getting, like, more hype when Claude was addressing it. So I'm glad Jackie kind of let Lisa know that she's not as innocent as she's portraying to be. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. So that was a cool little conversation. The next scene was Dr. Heavenly kind of just getting set up for her dating app launch party. So then the next scene was Toya and her husband kind of getting ready. So she brought in her outfits to let him see, and he was just like, I think all of them are too slutty. Like, you're a married woman, you're going to a dating app event, and you're not single. So I don't want you to wear any of that. And, you know, she tried to make it seem like she didn't understand. Make it seem like, oh, if I wear all these cute outfits, then people could see, oh, I want to do the dating app so I can get a wife like her. Like, that's her perspective of it. But I can understand his perspective. Like, you're going to be at a club. It's going to be single men there. You should be able to dress how you want and not get hit on. But come on now. We all know that doesn't happen. So I can understand him being like, don't make it seem like you trying to catch while you all at the club without me. So Toya turned it around basically and tried to get a ring out of it. Like, well, it don't matter what I wear. If I had a bigger wedding ring, guys wouldn't try to talk to me. Now, we know that's not true. Whether you have on a ring or not, or whether you say you're married or not verbally, some people will still try to get at you. So Toya was just being foolish and just trying to get a new ring out of it. I was like, girl, if you don't leave that man alone. And then she gonna say, oh, and I'm gonna get me I'm gonna wear my long weave too, just so I could look better at the club until you get me this ring. I was like, girl, if you don't stop messing with that man and you lose your little husband. So the launch party looked cool. The crowd was coming. Everybody was invited. Dr. Heavenly was going crazy because, as we know, Lisa Nicole designed her dress for her that her daughter made. And Lisa Nicole was late with the dress. Or maybe she was probably on time or scheduled time, but I don't know. First of all, she just should have had the dress already. First of all, Dr. Heavenly should have had her dress. Or, you know, Lisa should have gave her that dress already. I would never. Well, I mean, I guess depending on if they were supposed to come hours early. But that was precedent. So Dr. Heavenly was getting mad. She called Lisa and was like, I'm not playing with you. This dress better be here in like 5 minutes. And people was there. Dr. Heavenly was already meeting and greeting and hugging people with a regular outfit on. So I could understand her frustration, but I wouldn't accept that talk from my supposedly friend. And like, did she pay for that? So if I'm supposed to be delivering a free dress, girl, you better wait till I get there. But, you know, whether it was free or not, I guess if you guys have a time arrangement, you guys should follow it. Dr. Heavenly said something like, oh, I'm not Quad. Like, I guess, like, oh, she'll beat her up for real if Lisa don't really get her dress in time. So the launch party went cool. All the ladies showed up. Most of the husbands were there. The club looked nice. And so then they were going to play a game. So Claudia Jordan was there. Everybody knows that she's single. So they had 3 little bachelors, and her asked them a question, and I guess they're going to match her with somebody that way. So I guess one of the bachelors was missing, you guys. So Dr. Heavenly grabbed Dr. Darren. So Dr. Darren was about to go on stage and be a bachelor. But luckily, Jill and Lisa caught it from the sideline like, wait, is Dr. Darren about to be a bachelor? So Lisa ran over there like, get out that line, like telling her husband, like, you tripping. this the bachelor line, you get out that line. So he climbed out, you guys, and he went to go sit by himself. But that was so embarrassing on both of their parts. Like, number one, Darren, you're bad, because even though Dr. Heavenly grabbed you and was like, can you help? You could have been like, nah, I can't help this time, or like, let me go find you a bachelor in the audience. Like, Darren, you don't get off the hook. Even though like the lady grabbed you, you could have said like, nah, Heavenly, like, you know my wife. Like, so you could have got yourself out of that as a husband. And then secondly, Lisa, that's embarrassing for you. Like, she was sitting with her homegirls and way from where she was at, telling her husband, like, no, get out the line. And she walked over there and all her friends saw her do that. So for you to have to check your husband in front of your friends after you already had a fiasco with the stripper in front of your friends, I was like, that's embarrassing on both of y'all behalf. Like, he had to get checked in front of his boys and you had to do the checking in front of your girls. So that was way too much, you guys, but it was funny. And I'm like, Dr. Helen, you know good and well Lisa would mind. She was like, oh, well, I just asked Dr. Darren. Lisa wouldn't mind. Girl, you messed up. You do that. And it was so funny. They showed a confessional with Jackie. She was like, Dr. Jackie was like, if my husband got in the bachelor line, he better call Tyrone. I was like, you better go somewhere trying to do a joke. But it was kind of funny. So I don't know, like, the game was cool. I guess it was just one question and then you pick, which is cool because we didn't have time to sit down for no whole game show. So Claudia Jordan asked the 3 bachelors, aside from God and family, what's important in your life. I forgot what the first guy said. The second guy said wisdom, and the last guy said synergy. And it's so funny because Dr. Heaven called out the synergy guy. She was like, spell it. And at first, everybody laughed like it was a joke. And they were like, no, spell it. So he spelled it wrong, y'all. He was like Synegie or something. So instead of spelling it with a Y, he spelled it with the IE at the end. And everybody started laughing. So Claudia picked the guy that said wisdom. And he came out. And he looked pretty handsome. So they hugged and that's it. Maybe they went on a date. So Dr. Heavenly and her husband had a little powwow. He pulled her to the side and let her know that he was proud of her and that, you know, he wants to support her, but he just didn't want her to be too busy. And she was just like, thank you for saying you support me, but I'm just not built to be a housewife. And the thing is, I don't think that's true. I think everybody was clowning Heavenly for only doing one thing. So then she started doing all this stuff. And she may like doing a lot of stuff, but I think she took on way more based off the comments of her being too submissive. So at the end of the day, they found a balance. I'm glad the husband took her to the side, said he was proud of her and somewhat apologized. But she should have just received it, I think, and kind of, instead of mentioning not being a housewife, this, and that. She should have just received it. But like I said, of all the marriages, like, I know people have their way about Heavenly and her whole submissiveness, but I kind of like their marriage. So it looks like it's gonna work out and he's supportive and she's gonna keep doing it. So Jill and Mariah, so apparently they are friends, and they did flash back a scene where Jill came to one of Mariah's things and Mariah was pumping her up. So that was cool because my first response was Jill and Mariah. But so they went to get their nails done, and you know, Mariah reveals, you know, about her miscarriage, and she also revealed she had a cancer scare, which I didn't know. So she just said, you know, she's good physically and now she's just working on the emotional. So Jill basically invites her to her prohibit event, or she's calling it a prohibition event, and she's saying it's a play on words. And it's funny because I feel like she had to practice this, or maybe she's explaining it so much that it's coming out rehearsed, but she's calling it a prohibition event. But what it means is like, oh, we're prohibiting racism, or we're prohibiting sexism, or we're prohibiting belittling one another. So, I mean, that's actually cute, but I think when people don't know what prohibition means, or prohibit even, that it just be like, what? But hey, so this is her event, so she invites Mariah, and Mariah agrees to come. So we're looking forward to it since Mariah hasn't been around all the girls in a while. So Dr. Simone and Cecil talk. They plan to do a couples trip. And I think Dr. Simone and Cecil were the couples trip planners last time. So Simone just brings it to her husband like, hey, let's do another trip to the Bahamas or whatever. Cecil expressed that he's a little nervous, and they just decide, hey, we're going to invite everybody. Hopefully everybody coming. It's no drama. Or, hey, those who want to still be all dramaful, maybe they don't come. Oh, and I guess the topic of Brazil came up. And so Dr. Simone was like, no, you ain't never going to Brazil. And if you go to Brazil, the divorce papers will be right here waiting for you when you get back. Cecil was like, man, if I go to Brazil, I won't be back to sign no divorce papers. You can have everything. So I thought that was funny. Like, he laughed, she laughed, she didn't get all sensitive and in her feelings about it. And like Brazil is supposed to be like this exotic, sexy place, a lot of sex and orgies and beautiful women. Like, so that's what he meant. Like, hey, if I'm doing all that, you could keep the house, the car, the kids, and everything. So that was a funny joke. And I'm glad they were able to laugh and move on. So Dr. Greg and Quad are going. Quad is expressing concern. I hope it's no drama or whatever. And Dr. G was just like, it ain't going to be no drama. Let's just go and see what happens. So they kind of played around a little bit, talked about the outfits they were trying on, they should do in the bedroom, but anyway, although Quad told Jill she wasn't coming, she has decided to go to the Prohibit event, and then I guess we'll see what happens. So Lisa and Dr. Heavenly meet up to get dressed to go. Dr. Heavenly said people talking about her fashion, so she wanted Lisa to help her get ready. And they were kind of joking about the event because the flyer had a naked girl on it, or half naked. And Dr. Heavenly made a joke. She was like, I'm not bringing my husband, and neither should you. So to me, that was a funny joke. But of course, Lisa laughed. But then she was like, don't be saying that, or don't be playing around. All my husband's infidelity happened before we met. I'm like, girl, bye. First of all, that ain't true. Nobody believes that. And number two, it was just a joke. Like, hey, I'm not bringing mine. Don't bring yours. Like, it was just a joke. But Lisa, she don't want no jokes. She want everybody to just leave her husband out, whether the stuff's true, fake, joke, or not. Okay, so the next thing is Mariah's confessional, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I liked Mariah when she first was on the show, but she did kind of turn from the words of maybe being a little bit too extra or whatever. But her confessional before the party, I loved it, you guys. I love her with the darker hair. Like I said, you guys know I don't like blonde hair too much, but I like that brown hair, so that makes her look more authentic and more humble and real to me. And then she wasn't reading so hard. She was just like, these girls haven't came to see me, but I just want to let them know that they can't kick me out of the group no matter what, because I'm here to stay. But she said it just in a regular voice. She said it, without all the extra, so it just seemed genuine. So she still gave a little shade, she still gave a little read, she still gave a little personality, but it wasn't over the top. So I really like this new Mariah, and I'm sad that she dealt with the miscarriage and dealt with the possible cancer scare. But that's what they say sometimes when you have life threatening situations, it sometimes causes you to realize what's really important to you, or it makes you to be more humble, and that's what has seemed to happen so far. So we're at the event, everything looks good, the husbands are there, the wives are there. They haven't really said nothing about prohibiting anything, but the music is going, the drinks are going, so Dr. Heavenly's husband Damon talks to Jill's husband, and I don't remember his name. I know he's a plastic surgeon doctor, but I can't remember Jill's husband's name, you guys. And Dr. Damon just went to him man to man. Granted, the other man was there, and he was like, look, Jill's husband, like, I just want to let you know, like, don't ever talk to my wife like that again. I've never asked a man this before, but because it bothered my wife, I'm just coming to you. And I could appreciate him being honest. Like, he could have got clown, like, oh, your wife sent you over here, or, oh, you getting checked by your wife to do something. Like, he could have got clown, but I feel like he was being man to man. Like, hey, this happened, this is not my character, but just so we're clear or cool from now on, like, how about, we don't talk this way this more. And Jill's husband just didn't get it, you guys. At first, he seemed like he was about to say okay, but he just ended up getting up and leaving. So everybody was like, oh, you just gonna leave? He was like, yeah, like, this is dumb. Like, so he wasn't here for it. He felt like he was justified. Jill's husband feels like, hey, Dr. Heavenly said something stupid and I corrected her, but now everybody mad for me calling her out on it. And I don't think that that's what Dr. Damon was trying to do. He was just saying, like, hey, we all can call each other out on anything, but just do it respectfully. But Jill's husband doesn't think he was being disrespectful, and I honestly don't think he was too either. But, if Heavenly does feel that way and you're supposed to be friends, I can understand, like, he could just say, like, let's agree to disagree, or, whatever. I think they actually did say that. So anyway, I don't know why Jill's husband walked away, but he did. So Mariah and Quad come to the event together, you guys. So, Quad is kind of the outcast right now because her and Lisa got into it, and they try not to show up at stuff. And, Quad ain't been around in a long time, so she's somewhat of the outcast. So, girl, they show up, yes, all together and queening and just doing all this stuff that they normally do, that they used to do as friends. But it was just surprised to see that. Like, hey, the two of you who are now the current outcasts are going to come to the party together. So they walked around and gave hugs, and everybody hugged Mariah. Was like, oh, I miss you, this, and that. And at first it looked cool, but then Quad did in her confessional, like, oh, I miss you, oh, hey. But she didn't call me. Oh, now it's all hey. And once again, like I said, she was being a little bit more humble in her confessional, even though she was reading these ladies like, oh, you want to say hi now, but none of y'all called me and came to see me. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm just loving this episode's confessionals of Mariah. And I like the way that she was being real. Like, oh, hey, but, just letting you know, like, hey, but, girl, you didn't call me, so ain't no hey. And then Toya pointed it out, too. She was like, girl, Mariah came. We ain't seen her all year. And everybody like, hey, or whatever. And she was like, but I'm just like, what? And she was like, but hey, like, she was like, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to go ahead and participate. So that was kind of funny for Toya. I'm glad she kept it real, but also kept it real. Like, hey, I'm going to just do what everybody else do. Hey, I miss you. So that was cool. So Dr. Simone gathers everyone together, and she tells them about the Bahamas trip. So everyone seems to be on board. Like, Quad is kind of decisive, and Quad going to say, Mariah, are you going? Like, oh, you only going because Mariah going? Girl, 2 weeks ago, you probably would have said you wasn't going if Mariah is going. But now that you into it with Lisa, like, whatever. So Mariah was like, she made a little joke once again, which I thought was cute. Like, oh, I'm only going if y'all vote me in. Because, last trip they voted her out. Even though she feel like nobody has that voting power, she made a joke about it. And everybody laughed, even Dr. Simone. And, Simone and Quad was really, Simone and Mariah was really back and forth about that voting crap. So I thought that was cute that they, could make a joke about past foolishness. So it looks like everyone seems to agree. Quad still seemed to be on the fence, but I think she said, oh, if Mariah going, I'm going. And Dr. Heavenly was like, oh, yeah, we definitely down to go. So I think all the couples are going to go to Bahamas. So it looks good, you guys. Oh, and then so basically the fashions, you guys. So it's so funny because Basketball Wives LA had this kind of Great Gatsby theme. And I think this event did too. And surprisingly, these Atlanta girls were dressed way better. And clearly, I'm from Cali, so maybe I'm more biased. But, and I know a lot of business that's popular in LA is shifting into Atlanta, or has been shifting over the last 10, 20 years. But I don't know. I just thought LA's fashion would be so much better. But, girl, these Atlanta girls' outfits were killing. They really dressed. I don't know if it was like 1920s, 1930s. I don't know I can't think of the theme for the Prohibition event, but it was definitely classic Renaissance attire, and they all looked great. Toya's little skirt was a little too, I don't know, she was dressed like a little fairy or something, like a Halloween costume. So hers was a little funny, but I loved everyone's high fashion, their classic fashion, the gowns. Like, everyone looked really good there. The ones who did wear headpieces, I think Dr. Jackie had on a headpiece, and I think Heavenly had on one. Their headpieces went with their outfits, So it was pretty good. So Jill kind of got word that her husband and Dr. Damon, Heavenly's husband, got into it. So Jill went to tell Heavenly, like, oh, my husband just told your husband F you. So instantly, Heavenly was like, what? Like, oh, no, y'all tripping. Y'all ignorant if y'all do some stuff like that. So she got up to go see. And then Jill said something like ignorant. And then Heavenly was like, yeah, just because you have an education doesn't mean you can't be ignorant. And Jill threw some shade, was like, just because you have an online degree don't mean you're not ignorant. So I was like, ooh. But Dr. Heavenly said her degree wasn't from online. And you know what, you guys? Okay, I gotta go. I don't have time to go on and on and on. But I have a thing with online degrees. Like, I know it's funny and shade about it, but I don't have a problem with online degrees because, okay, let's say I go to work every day and then go home and don't do nothing but drink beer and watch TV. But then there's somebody who go to work every day, but then they go home and they're online reading stuff, submit, because you still have to submit stuff for classes, whether the school is accredited or not. Now, I do have a issue with unaccredited schools, but an online degree from an accredited school, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you still put in work. You still have to read. You still have to log on. Okay, log on to Facebook versus logging on to an online portal to submit work and chat and do whatever you need to do with your online group. To me, that's still work. And it's better than not doing anything, you know? So I don't like all the shade in the world behind online degrees. Maybe from unaccredited places that I can get, but I don't know. I mean, I prefer in-class learning, and all my degrees are actually in class. But hey, if you got one, hey, you better use it. You still have to pay the money for it. So hey, you paying student loans on a degree, whether it was online, in class, overseas, whatever, you better do what you got to do to make it work for you. So anyway, Heavenly goes over to her husband, Dr. Damon, and just was like, "Oh, are you okay? Because I heard you got into a fight." He was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like, he didn't even go into the fact that Jill's husband walked away. He was just like, "I'm good." And so that's all Heavenly needed to hear. And she went back and sit down. She was like, "Look, Jill, don't come over to me telling me nothing about my husband. We could fight, they could fight, but don't ever be going back and forth between me and my husband." And Jill didn't get it, you guys. Once again, this is like the third fight that Jill didn't have where she was like, "Well, I just want to explain, or what I meant by that was this." Girl, no. Like, I understand every race fight differently, but if you gonna hang with these girls, you gotta learn they lingo. And Dr. Simone was in the background, like, because Jill kept trying to explain, and Heavenly just kept cutting her off and shutting her down. Like, "Don't play. I'm not the one. You better sit down. You better get out my face." And Jill, "But I just wanna," and like, and Jill, Dr. Simone was like, "I don't think Jill's getting it." And I'm like, "Yeah, Jill not getting it," because she wanted to explain. Ain't no explaining, girl. And to say, "Oh, my husband said F you," you don't play around with those words. I know she just kind of plays around with words and can say cuss words and it don't mean that to you, but no, I understand Dr. Heavenly. Like, if you said F you to my husband, or if your husband said F you to my husband, oh, there's going to be some problems. My husband would have took care of it by himself, but if I needed to get in, then I would have, or I would, and yeah, I would be on the person's side who didn't say F you. So, you know, even though Heavenly was going extra to the girl whose event she's at, it's kind of understandable, because some women don't play with their husband. Like, you can't, like, Lisa don't play about the cheating stuff, but hey, that's their fault. That's Darren's fault. But, you know, Dr. Heavenly's husband is pretty respectable. He don't mess with nobody. So you can't just be saying, "Oh, my husband mad at your husband," and then think nothing is not going to happen. So somebody finally set Jill down, I think. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. So they didn't really show what the event was about. And, you know, a lot of times these events, it's basically to have a party with a theme, you know. So although I wanted to hear a speech about what it was about or what they was doing or show some examples or something, that didn't happen. It was just everybody partying, having a good time in their nice attire. So that was pretty much it. So next week we're in the Bahamas. So we'll see what happens. It looked like Lisa and Heavenly still are not cool. And I don't remember seeing Qual Mariah in that scene, but, you know, from my understanding, they went or they're going. So we'll see, you guys. So that was Married to Medicine. All right, you guys. So enjoy the rest of your day. You know what's up. Give me the thumbs up on this video. Go ahead and hit me up on Facebook. My page is It Is Me, Tammy B. And, you know, without a business account, you kind of have to play with the first and last name. So the first name is It Is Me, ITISME. And then the last name is Tammy B, TAMIB. So It Is Me, Tammy B. You can also hit me up on Twitter at TammyB_. So remember to give me the thumbs up on the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. All right, see you next time.